We have incredible morale. We have a wonderful culture. We root for each other. We celebrate each other's successes. We have so much invested in keeping this culture as lovely as it is. It it's one of these things that when we interview new people that we're bringing onto the company, and we have been growing a lot lately, um, they do a lot of asking around because that sounds a little too good to be true. And there are just fans inside the company, and I love it so much. And I think that every little decision we make, whether it's the compensation structure or the transparency between the executive team and the rest of the company, there are all kinds of things that we do that create this culture. In fact, Sean wrote a great article about our culture recently that sort of was a highlight reel of like how we made the culture we did, because it was deliberate and it was nice to see it enumerated. Um, but what you see is alignment between not just the CRO and the CMO, but truly within the entire organization, head of product, CEO. We have um, the head of engineering. All of these people come together and see the company through their own lenses, but have the same picture. And it's always surprising and delightful to me to see when we do come together as a group every 6 weeks or so, we get together in person and we give our reports about sort of what's working, what's not working, and what's next. And we're all always seeing the same thing from a different perspective. And that is what is keeping the culture, the the mood and the morale, I think, uh, good. It is because of that alignment. It is critically important for us.
So culture is something that every company wants, but it can be elusive. Let me give you some brass tacks on that to put just a framework for the audience here. We have a culture of freedom and responsibility. Not every company has that, but we tell our entire team on a periodic basis, remember that you have the freedom to do whatever it is that you want within the constraints of what we're trying to accomplish here, right? Successful clients, a growing business, like all of that is true. But that can be difficult for people who come from an oppressive organization. It's hard sometimes for them to spread their wings, but we encourage them to do so. The other side of that coin is with great freedom comes great responsibility. You have the responsibility to act in a way that's going to move the entire team forward. And we encapsulate this in I'm now envisioning this slide deck that we use to communicate this, but there's one page in there where it says, good decision, good. Bad decision, good. No decision, bad, right? And so what we're telling our team is that this is a safe environment. We expect everyone to fail periodically. How else are you going to learn? Right? We learn more from our failures than our successes. In a culture that is oppressive, you're not going to see that. You're going to see people living in fear for making a mistake or something like that. We embrace those things. We learn from them and we move on. And those are the underpinnings of the culture that Tristan's describing that any company can put in place. That is it's an easy thing to do to trust adults to do their job well. Completely reasonable thing to do. But I think as companies grow, it gets harder for them to do that for various reasons. But we do not have such a problem.